What's up guys, Chigs there from Chigs Tech Reviews. So this is the Aya Neo Air. It's actually the world's first ultra thin and light OLED Windows handheld. Now I picked this up from Indiegogo for around 500. This is the 16 plus 512 variant running 64-bit Windows 11 Home. Now I have been using this for around 2 weeks, and in this video I'm going to share with you my thoughts on how I've been getting on, and also we'll be checking out some gameplay and emulation to show you what this can do. So very quickly, as I know you guys have already seen plenty of unboxings, real gamers, no gamers, no doubt about that one. So inside the box everything comes neatly arranged. So you got your charger cable in that box right there. You get a 65 watt power supply included. We've got some travel adapters here for different countries, and you have two convenient USB-C to USB-A adapters. Now the Aya Neo is very compact in size. You have a complete plastic body, matte white finish, and the quality actually does feel quite solid in the hands, and you can definitely tell it's very well made. Dimensions are 224mm by 89.5mm by 18mm in thickness. The color is called Aurora White, and I really love how the top triggers has this beautiful two-tone color gradient finish, and I really love how it blends in. It gives the Aya Neo Air so much character. I absolutely love how this looks and feels in the hands. In fact, the first time I saw pictures of this product, I was won over and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. And once it's in your hands, trust me, it's even better than the pictures. Now just to give you an idea of the size, here are a few side-by-sides with other Windows handhelds. Now first of all, we have the One X Player 1S with its massive 8.4-inch IPS display. And when you put the Aya Neo next to it, you can see the difference. That's how they fare side by side. And that's the thickness right there. This one here is the Aya Neo Pro 2021 with its 7-inch IPS display. Side by side, this is what you can expect in terms of size difference, in case you already have one of these consoles. And the ever so popular Nintendo Switch OLED. Side by side, you can see it's a bit smaller than the Switch, but the Switch is of course a lot slimmer. In terms of weight, the Aya Neo Air actually feels slightly lighter. So that's interesting. And then of course we have the Aya Neo Air with its beautiful 5.5-inch OLED display, which is the most compact from the bunch, but also the most comfortable and definitely the most ergonomic in the hands. Now, there are actually 3,500 components sandwiched into this compact unit, weighing no more than 398 grams. Also in thickness, it's only 18mm. So easy to travel with, compact, lightweight, and this little thing has the power of a laptop. So you could actually hook this up to a screen via Type-C and connect a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, ultimately giving you a full PC experience. So we do have dual joysticks with ambient LEDs underneath, and I have to say those lights look amazing. You can also adjust the RGB lighting effects, so you can have breathing, breathe RGB loop, you've got breathe Google, scanning, ripple effect, and you've got a monochromatic always on, and you can specifically choose a different color for left and right. So I'll show you that one in action. If I just save it, you will see we've got blue and yellow, and there are many other effects. We've got breathing Google, and I'll quickly activate that one just to show you what it looks like. So you've got the Google multicolor lights, and they're going to be constantly breathing. So yeah, really liking the ambient LEDs underneath those joysticks. Now, coming back to the joysticks, these are the first ever Hall joysticks on a Windows gaming handheld. The joysticks are electromagnetic for that high level precision. They are also 100% free of dead zones, and you can also adjust the sensitivity. So amazing joysticks, and they are also easy to replace. Now we do have a very neat looking D-pad, Windows button, menu button. On this side, we've got the Aya space button and a return to desktop button, which can also be customized. The A, B, X, Y buttons can also be removed and rearranged if you need to. On the top, you have your trigger buttons, so LB, LT and RB, RT, and you have this incredible gradient design. Now the back trigger buttons, LT and RT, are actually your Hall triggers, and they feel amazing and will certainly give you that gaming precision when you need it. The full trigger stroke is 7.5mm but you can achieve 0.9 millimeters of accuracy, which is insane. That's not all, you also have two shoulder keys, so one on the right and one on the left, and you can see the 3 dots, that is pressable. So 2 more buttons we have, and by default, single press the left side and it opens the keyboard, long press it and Task Manager will open. The right side shoulder key, if you press it once, that's the escape button, and if you keep it pressed, it will open up Task View. Now you can also completely customize the shoulder keys from within the Aya Neo UI, which is a very convenient feature. Now over here we have a power button, which is also an ultra fast fingerprint reader in one. Next to it we have volume rocker and a full featured USB 3.2 Type-C port. So it supports charging, data transfer and display out. Now over here we have a vent, and you can feel hot air blowing out of this vent. On the back we have more ventilation holes, but this one actually blows cold air, and it actually helps keep your hands nice and cool whilst you're gaming. And I really like how this feels. Absolutely amazing feature, mind-blowing ergonomics right here. Just check out those curves and raised grips. So I love how this feels in the hands. Really comfortable for long gaming sessions, no problems at all. Now at the bottom of the console we have our stereo speakers, and let me tell you right now, the quality of the speakers are impressive. Now over here we have a micro SD card slot, and I immediately installed a 256 gig card. It comes in handy for all your downloads and your ROMs and stuff. I also tested out a 1 terabyte card, that worked too. Not sure if it can handle any more than that. Next to it we have a headphone jack and another USB 3.2 Type-C port for charging, transfer and display out. Now from all the handheld consoles that I've tested this year, the Aya Neo Air has by far the most advanced and nicer feeling controls and buttons from the rest. Now I've not had a chance to test the Steam Deck, as it's always out of stock online, so not sure how that feels, but compared to the ones I've reviewed on the channel and I've mentioned earlier, including Nintendo Switch OLED, this Aya Neo Air feels the best in the hands. They've absolutely nailed the comfort levels, ergonomics and the quality of the buttons, triggers, and they still managed to make it aesthetically beautiful. Now this is what I'm thinking. It would have been amazing if Aya Neo gave us a choice of maybe a larger 7 or 8 inch version of this console. You know, something like the Aya Neo Air XL. That choice would have been good. Now moving on, this console is absolutely feature packed. We have built-in gyroscope. You've got adjustable linear vibration motors, so you can adjust the intensity of the vibration. Now let's talk about the screen quality. You're looking at a 5.5 inch OLED display with a full HD resolution and peak brightness of 350 nits with a 100,000 to 1 contrast ratio, impressive 175-degree viewing angles and 404 pixels per inch. So display is no doubt super sharp with punchy colors and a very decent contrast. Brightness is ideal for indoor use. Outdoors is okay as long as it's not a bright sunny day. Now this console is running the full version of Windows 11 Home, 64-bit version, pre-installed, activated and ready to use. Now if you long press the Aya Neo button, it will open up the Aya Neo Space, which is their own gaming UI where you can manage and download all your content and also configure and tweak a whole bunch of settings. If you go to the assistant page, from here you'll have lots of customization options, including your usage statistics and hardware information. If you tap on Configure Aya Neo, from here you'll be able to customize various buttons, including the desktop button, the triggers, shoulder keys, joysticks, and the RGB lighting effects. All of this and more can be customized in detail from these settings, and this console would not be the same without the software. Aya Neo Space is awesome, but also if you single tap the Aya Neo button, it will open Aya Neo Quick Tool Overlay, allowing you to quickly change things like resolution, brightness, volume, and you've got some TDP presets there. So really handy controls, really handy shortcuts, and lots of customization options. Very well thought out software and hardware and design. This is an incredible product. Now let's discuss performance. The console is powered by the AMD Ryzen 5, that's 5560U octa-core with a clock speed of 2.3 GHz and with a turbo of up to 4 GHz. Furthermore, you have 16 gigs of LPDDR4 RAM, and this one has 512 gig NVMe SSD storage. You're also getting Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.2. The console has a large 7350 mAh battery and it supports 65 watt fast charging. And to give you an idea of the battery life, playing a game like GTA 5 on 720p low graphic settings, you can expect around 2 hours of battery life. The battery life gets better with less demanding games, but at least it doesn't take long to fully charge again. So just over 90 minutes for a full 100% charge using the 65 watt fast charger included in the box. So the Aya Neo Air is powerful enough to run full PC AAA games like GTA V, Cyberpunk, Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Horizon Zero Dawn with at least 30 frames per second at 720p resolution. So without any further ado, let's check out a whole bunch of games including emulation, and let me show you what sort of frame rates and performance you can expect. So the first game we are testing is GTA V, resolution set to 720p and graphics set to high, and the TDP set to 12 watts, and we are achieving 30 FPS. The game actually looks really nice on this beautiful OLED screen. Even at 720p 30 frames, I'm actually enjoying how this game looks and plays. The controls also feel really nice in the hands. I'm loving the whole joysticks and triggers. This thing feels so premium, it could easily be made by Sony or Xbox. It's that damn good. Alright, the next game we are playing is quite graphically intense. This is WWE 2K19. Resolution is set to 720p and the TDP is set to 12 watts. I'm achieving 41 frames per second, which, as you can see, is not fast enough. Gameplay does appear to be a lot slower than it should be. So then I went back into settings and dropped the resolution further down to 1024 by 768 just to see what happens, and I also reduced the audience density to 10%. And now I'm achieving around 52 frames per second, definitely much faster gameplay, but of course graphics not looking as sharp. Okay, so our third Steam PC game, this one is Street Fighter 5, resolution 720p, graphics set to max and 12 watt TDP. We are achieving 34 frames per second, and as you can see with the graphics maxed out, the game looks really nice, but unfortunately not achieving decent enough frame rates, making the game run a bit slow. So I simply dropped down the graphics from maximum settings to medium and I left it on 720p. This time around it played much smoother and faster, giving me 60 frames per second, and the game still managed to look pretty nice on the OLED display. So it looks like most PC games will run fine on 720p and low graphics, but the more graphically demanding games might require further tweaks to achieve better frame rates. Okay, time for some emulation, starting off with the hardest to emulate. That's going to be PlayStation 3 using RPCS3. And I've set the resolution to the lowest option possible, which is 640 by 360. And the first game I'm going to test is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. And as you can see, the game loads and looks okay, but the frame rates are just too low to be playable. So literally slow motion gameplay. So it looks like this game is not going to work on this system. So next up I tried another PS3 game to see what happens. This time it's Fight Night Champion with exactly the same settings. Looked fine. The game looked and played okay. Frame rates are still on the lower side, so the enjoyment factor is not there with PS3 emulation. Okay, so next up I tested Vita emulation with Vita 3K. Resolution is set to the lowest, which is 960 by 544. I tried playing a number of games, including Asphalt Racing, which I thought would be the easiest game to play, and you can see that the loading screen started up. Then we get yellow screens, flashing screens, and you can hear the game, but it's not at all playable. So Vita 3K emulation is not working on this unit. Okay, so moving on to PSP emulation with PPSSPP. First game we're playing is SmackDown vs Raw 2011, and as you can see it's playing nicely at 10x resolution Vulkan backend. And the next PSP game I had to test was GTA Liberty City Stories, and 10x was too much for it, so I had to drop it down to 8x, and as you can see, it ran nice and smooth. And God of War Ghost of Sparta had to be further dropped down to at least 4x resolution for a nice, smooth gaming experience. Okay, time for some PS2 emulation. Resolution set to 640 by 480, playing Fight Night Round 3, and as you guys can see, generally a good performance throughout. So next up, Switch emulation. We are playing Mario Kart 8 at 720p. Now whilst the game seems to be playing fine, it's definitely not at full speed, but nevertheless, still very playable. Now playing the same game, Mario Kart 8 on Wii U with Cemu emulator gives a much better overall experience. Now, one of my favorite things to do on the AYANEO Air has to be game streaming. The built-in Wi-Fi 6 certainly helps achieve a very stable connection with minimal latency. So check out the gameplay.
When he's on form, when he's focused, he's a brilliant runner with the ball. He can take on players, he can go past people with ease, and he's got a great shot on him as well. I'm really looking forward to watching him play today. And the cross is very much on. Oh, fancy footwork. Body in the way. Needed to do an awful lot better. Ronaldo. Bruno Fernandes.
So there you have it guys, the AYANEO Air, one of the most attractive and well-designed Windows handhelds that you can buy right now, giving you the power of a laptop in your hands. Now you are getting a full Windows 11 experience, a beautiful OLED display, very responsive touchscreen, awesome visuals and great sounding stereo speakers. The screen is 5.5 inches, it is small, so when you're setting up your games, it's probably easier to hook this up to a monitor or bigger screen just for your convenience. Also, it's nice to have that versatility. It means that this mini handheld becomes a full-featured mini PC by adding keyboard, mouse and screen. Furthermore, I love how this thing feels in my hands. I almost never want to put it down. It feels so ergonomic. It feels like nothing I have tested before. The AYANEO team have really nailed the design and comfort levels. The amount of technology packed into this thing is quite remarkable. Everything seems so well thought out, and you can certainly tell that the AYANEO team have put a lot of effort into this one. And I must admit, I am pleased with it. The form factor just works for me, and I do play this a lot. and I especially enjoy playing my retro emulation games on this, like N64, PS2, Dreamcast, and so on and so forth. Unfortunately, PS3 emulation was sluggish and PS Vita emulation was just not happening. So you can expect a relatively powerful performance with the ability to play AAA games at 720p resolution and on low graphics. And even then, the small OLED display makes all the games look really nice. Furthermore, controls feel super premium and responsive. It's super lightweight and compact, and I did find it easy to travel with. And I've actually ordered the official case for like $20 something. That will certainly come in handy. So battery life, 1.5 to 2 hours playing AAA games like GTA V, or between 3 to 5 hours playing indie or emulation games like N64 or equivalent. Now, when you're game streaming, you can get a slightly better battery of up to 6 hours straight with no issues. And having Windows 11, you can connect a keyboard, mouse and screen, and this turns into a mini PC, allowing you to continue gaming on the big screen or get some work done, browse the web, design, or just stream videos on YouTube and Netflix. So not just a handheld game console, this is effectively your mini PC or laptop that you can take with you anywhere you go. Now the internal speakers are pretty good quality, loud and clear, and a headphone jack is available as a bonus. Now, I was lucky enough to grab the Indiegogo launch offer, and as soon as the Indiegogo promotion is over, I have no idea how much this is going to be selling on their official website, as none of their previous consoles sell for less than £1,000. So at the time of filming this video, the Aya Neo Air, this console, is still available on Indiegogo for the reduced price. So grab it while you can at that cheaper price. Now with all that being said, I hope you found this video useful. Let me know in the comments which game you would play first on this console if you had it in your hands right now. So do hit the like button if you want to see more content like this. Meanwhile, links will be in the description box for your convenience. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have an amazing day. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.